WSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Michael K. is on the radio today, and he ain't afraid to say what he's thinking. It's the Michael K. Show on 880 ESPN Radio.
Afternoon, everybody. This is indeed the Michael K. Show. We thank you for joining us on this Friday. It's January 23rd. It's 2026. Me and you for two. Those are the rules of engagement. It's the fastest 2 hours in sports talk radio. We are closing in on Snowmageddon. Boy, be careful. They're saying it's going to be really rough out there on Sunday. So I don't know if that means bread and milk, batteries, water, whatever the case may be. Just be safe. Don't push it. If they say don't get out on the roads, then don't get out on the roads. But, you know, the weather model can change, but all we are concerned about is that you are okay. Thank you for watching us on the ESPN New York YouTube channel. So many people are tuning in and consuming the show in that way. If not, then ESPN app or the 880 ESPN on your AM dial. Hope you're all doing well. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. I have two great guests today. Joel Sherman at 1:30 to talk about a wild week in baseball. And we'll talk to Sal Palantonio. He's going to join us at 2 o'clock, and we will break down the championship games in the AFC and the NFC. So many things to hit on. I want to just get a couple of quick hits out there and get you involved right away, because the co-hosts are going to be important on this end-of-the-week Friday show. You know the number, 1-800-919-3776. We intend to talk to a lot of you today, because my intention today, it's not Festivus, but I want an airing of the grievances. I really do. Met fans were so unhappy with the moves that David Stearns made, not bringing back Pete Alonso, not bringing back Edwin Diaz, Nimmo, McNeil, favorites for a long time by Met fans. And then there was a long period of inaction. Well, in a period of about, 72 hours, I would think that your thought processes have to change. You have to feel pretty good about it. I said this yesterday. To me, the Mets are the favorites in the National League East now. With the moves they made, getting Robert, signing Bichette, making the trade for Peralta, they are, in my opinion, ahead of the Philadelphia Phillies and the Atlanta Braves. We'll see if I'm right, but I wonder how Met fans feel. Now, the other airing of grievances, I'm going to give the opportunity to Yankee fans. Now, last Friday, after the show, I was going to go to a movie with my wife, and we were going to go see Marty Supreme. So the movie started at 7. She was doing stuff with the kids before that, so I was just hanging around the house. I said, I don't do this very often. Let's interact on X. And there are so many. Again, I'm really bad at this. I don't know how much the unhappiness on X is actually indicative of the entire fan base. I'm not sure. I can't judge. I don't know. You know, they always say that the people that call into talk shows are essentially 2% of the audience. 98% of an audience that listens to a sports radio show is listening and not interacting. But the people on X, as I was answering, this is before they re-signed Bellinger, they're so unhappy with the work the Yankees have done. Essentially running back last year's 94-win team that got eliminated in the division round by the Blue Jays. Really unhappy. They haven't done enough. The owner doesn't spend money. He's cheap. They have no intention of winning a championship. These are some of the things that I got on a constant, minute-by-minute basis. If you look back on my timeline, all they care about is you going to the ballpark, spending your $28 on a chicken bucket. Now, I push back on that a little bit, because when I did the tender reviews with Meredith Morakovitz, we actually did have a chicken bucket. And I think it's an unbelievable value. I mean, so many fries, so many chicken tenders, Listen, $28 is a lot in anything, but for a ballpark item, it's pretty good. Anyway, that's beside the point, but I'll get some Yankee boy taunts about that. But they're very unhappy. They don't think that the Yankees want to win a championship. All they want to do is qualify for the playoffs, and they're not trying to win. They're not going the extra mile. Now, after the signing of Bellinger, I still don't think they're happy. But you know that the Bellinger signing takes them up to $319 million. $319. So the Mets have a higher payroll, and the Dodgers have a higher payroll. The Yankees are ahead of the Blue Jays, ahead of the Phillies. High-spending teams, ahead of the Red Sox. So they're third, which they've been for a while now, a couple of years. But still, the Hal is cheap mantra is out there. And it's hard for me to debate such things with 280 characters. And it's hard to get nuance into a Twitter or an X post, whatever you like to call it. It's just hard. But it's not hard to have conversations here. So I did tweet out earlier, or posted on X, this is the time to air your grievances. We can go back and forth and have a discussion about your unhappiness, and I'll give you my thoughts on whether or not it's legitimate that you're unhappy. And the one thing that I keep falling back on, do I think the Yankees did heavy lifting during the offseason? No, I don't. I'll be honest with you, I don't. But they brought back a team that they really liked last year. Now, why it lost to the Blue Jays? Don't know. Maybe they don't even know. Maybe they think that was just a one-off. They talk about a crapshoot. Maybe that was a crapshoot on the bad end. Maybe they think that a crapshoot they beat the Blue Jays in another such series. But the teams in the East have gotten better. The Red Sox, I believe, have gotten better, acquiring 2 starting pitchers, a good defensive and a good hitting first baseman. They lost Bregman. I think the Blue Jays are just as good as last year. Not better, though. They signed Dylan Cease to a big contract, but they lost Bassett and they lost Scherzer. Scherzer, by the way, people dismiss that. He did start Game 7 of the World Series for them last year. They got Cease, they got Ponce, a guy who pitched in the KBO for the last couple of years. They got Okamoto, but they lost Bichette. And they also put Rogers in the bullpen, which is a pretty decent move, pretty good move. But, in terms of them getting better, I don't think they've gotten better. The Orioles have gotten better. I think they still need a couple of starters, and they're coming off such a bad year last year. You would think that there's a rebound there. So there's 4 really good teams in the AL East, and I never discount the Tampa Bay Rays because they'll sneak up on you. They fly stealth. But again, I'm not sure the people on X, if they're talking for the majority or if it's a very loud vocal minority. So I seem to be on the opposite side of both fan bases. I love what David Stearns has done because with the heart of the Met team that all of you loved, over 4 or 5 years, I think they averaged 83 wins a year. So they didn't really win anything. They had that one run to Game 6 of the NLCS a couple of years ago. Last year, they didn't make the playoffs with an 83-win season. So he felt it had to be broken up, and he did. He really broke up this roster, and I think they're better. And the final piece of the puzzle was getting Peralta. Now they have a legitimate 1 or 2, whichever way you want to look at it, with McClain or Senga, legitimate 1 or 2 in the rotation. So when the Mets open the season against the Pirates, it's probably going to be Peralta against Skeens. So I think that Stearns has done a good job. And I think the Yankees are still projected to be, according to Vegas, the best team in the American League. They're projected to win 93.5 games, the most of any team in the league. Number 2 is the Seattle Mariners, and number 3 is the Blue Jays. But still, that doesn't make Yankee fans happy. It just doesn't. So I wonder about that. So let's talk about it. I do want to have an airing of the grievances. One partial note. So it came out yesterday that the ratings for the national championship game between Miami and Indiana was about 33 million people for college championship game. And I'm startled by that. It's the highest rated non-NFL game NFL sporting event, highest rated since the 2016 Game 7 between the Indians and the Cubs. I find that hard to believe. I'm not the biggest college football fan, although I have enjoyed it this year, and getting a chance to have Paul Feinbaum on every Tuesday has gotten me more invested in it. But you mean to tell me that Indiana-Miami game held more interest to the people of the United States than Game 7 between the Dodgers and the Blue Jays of a great World Series with several memorable games? Now, that game was the highest-rated baseball game since that 2016 Cubs and the Indians game. But that game didn't have more interest in the States than a college football game? Now, maybe I'm blinded by two things. I love baseball. And the other thing is that here in the Northeast, college football is not that big of a deal. It's not like in the forefront of everybody's sporting lives. So I'm just stunned that that game was a higher rated game than any NBA final, any World Series game, anything except for an NFL game. I wonder if that surprised you as well. Just something to think about. 1-800-919-3776. So let's go to the phones. Let's go to the phones and see what you're thinking. And we're going to start out with Sal in Brooklyn. Sal.
Michael, good afternoon, my good man. How are you?
Good. How are you doing, Sal?
I'm doing very well. And the thing with college football, don't forget, you got more people gambling on football than you do with baseball. So that's why a lot of eyes were on that game, in my opinion. I just think because so much money was on the line with it. But I'm with you. I'm old school. Just show me baseball and you can keep college football. Hey, my issue, and I'm like you. I was a 50-cent bleacher kid. I was a Con Ed kid, upper left deck bleachers. I'm not, counting myself or pat myself on the back. We followed this team forever. I love them to death. I can't get them out of my blood. My problem with the Yankees right now is you have $32 million dead at third base. Dead because you're still paying $15 to DJ. And this $17 million to McMahon, he can't hit a lick. They think they could have improved at third. Everybody's killing Volpe. I say leave the kid alone. He'll find his spot. Everybody wants Derek Jeter there. He don't come around every 5 years. A Derek Jeter comes around once in a lifetime, Yankee fans. So take it easy. The next guy around the corner is not going to be Jeter. And the $22 million offer for the center fielder killed me, Mike. It had to have killed you too. There's no way you were worried about a draft pick, that somebody was going to give him more money, knowing this collective bargaining agreement is down the road. He didn't read the tea leaves. To offer him that money after he came off a $5 million contract, that's the dead money I'm talking about that could have improved this team just a little bit. That's all.
Well,
but
I'll
they'll win their
put
90
it to you
games.
this way. And Sal, I know you listen to the show, and I thank you for that. I'm still a little befuddled by offering the $22 million. But I did talk to people within the organization, and I am assured that they did not make that $22 million qualifying offer so that they could get a draft pick. They made that $22 million offer because they weren't sure if they were going to get Bellinger back. And if they didn't have Grisham, they would have had to fill 2 outfield spots rather than 1. Now, they ended up getting both. Now, if you would have told them they were going to get back Bellinger, I highly doubt that they would have given $22 million to Grisham. And I also, see on social media, and I think this is a mistaken assumption, that Grisham's probably sad about taking the qualifying offer because the way the market exploded, he would have gotten more. He would not have gotten more. He was brilliant to take the qualifying offer. And I will tell you this, if he's such a bargain, I don't think the Yankees could trade him and trade his entire salary. I just don't. I don't see it. Harrison Bader is still looking for a job. Harrison Bader's a pretty good player, and he has more of a track record than Trent Grisham. Trent Grisham did have 34 home runs, but Harrison Bader has proven in 2 seasons that he excels in the postseason. Still waiting for an offer. So for people to say, well, the Yankees actually, they were prescient. That's a good deal. It's not a good deal. It's not a good deal. You know what would have been a good deal? If the Yankees went to him and said, we'll give you $24 million for 2 years. And I think he would have taken it. Because if it's such a good deal, let's see the Yankees turn around and trade him. And I don't think they could. Now, could they trade him by eating like $8 million of his salary? Yeah. Trent Grisham's a good player. And he's had a great year, a career year. And the Yankees, maybe they think they unlocked something. And if they did, let's see. But he's going to be a free agent at the end of the year, whether he will not be able to get a qualifying offer. Let's see if he gets 34 home runs again. And let's see what kind of contract he gets on the open market. Let's see if there's $22 million a year for him. And as for McMahon, McMahon is a plus WAR player simply on his defense. There's nothing you can do about the $15 million that you owe DJ LeMahieu. That's dead money. The $15 million that you owe McMahon is not dead money. If he hits 230 and 20 home runs with the defense that he plays, you know what? They'll take it. They'll take it. Let's go to Mike in Queens. Michael.
Good evening, Michael. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good, Mike. How are you?
I'm confused with the Mets because they talked about defense, and rightfully so. I watched the games last year. McNeil was not that bad at second base. I understand the locker room chemistry, but then Peralta never played first base. Bichette never played third base. The left fielder is an issue. Williams is not better than Diaz. That's a fact. I'm sure Met and Yankee fans can agree on that. And Peralta, are we going to sign him to an extension? Because Stearns made it clear he doesn't like signing pitchers to lots of money. So that's why I don't understand some of the moves they made.
Let me ask you a question, Mike. You don't understand the moves. Do you think that this team is better than last year's team?
I don't know, because what is Cody Bellinger? Last year, Cody Bellinger came back from his injury and was a shell of himself. Mania, shell of himself.
This year for the full year,
I don't know
Peralta,
about this team.
who gave you 33 starts last year and a great ERA, and you're going to have a full year of McClain, who they love. Peterson didn't have a good second half, but he's not a bad pitcher. Holmes is a reliable starter, a good fourth or fifth guy. Maybe Mania returns to the norm. And if Senga's healthy, if Senga's healthy, he could pitch. And then you got the kids that you could wait and get to in Sproat and in Tong. No, Sproat's the guy they traded, but there's one other pitcher as well that they have waiting. I have it written down here. Christian Scott. So you have Scott and Tong in case anybody falters. So in terms of the defense, when you're building a defense, you're building defense up the middle. Robert is a great defender in center. Simeon is much better than McNeil at second. Lindor is Lindor. And Alvarez does a pretty good job behind the plate. So up the middle, you're strong. We'll see if Bichette, that's a gamble, but Bichette can hit. They certainly improved their lineup. Let's see if he could play third base, and let's see if Polanco could play first. Those are question marks. Polanco has to be as good as Pete Alonso. And Pete Alonso wasn't a great defensive first baseman. Can he be a little bit better than that? Hey, he was a former shortstop, and usually the best players play at shortstop, and if they go to other places on the dirt, they should be able to do well. My question is with Bichette's arm. Will he be able to handle third base? Let's go to Mike in Bayside.
Mike, I got a point about the Yankees, Mets, and the football, if you let me.
Sure.
I'll be brief on each. The Yankees, what you were saying the other day is spot on, like 93.5 as a total. Remember all those years the Yankees were like a 98, 99 total? Mm-hmm. And they're just begging you to take the over there. And about the Mets, I'm a diehard Mets family. I've season tickets since '83. I've been to every game you can think of since then. I love every single move. I haven't heard anybody on any station say, as a Met fan, how much they love it. I don't want an aging Pete Alonso and Nimmo. I don't want an Edwin Diaz that's after he pitches his heart out in the World Baseball Classic pitching for us. We know what happened last time. And my point about the football, me and my buddies, we love the Broncos this weekend. Just my point on that game is if they wanted 50-50 action on that game, they would have just made the Patriots 7. They're just begging you to take the Pats there, with the whole quarterback situation. And love the show, bro.
Thanks, man. Thank you, Mike. I'll give my picks a little bit later on. It is 4.5 points. Patriots are 4.5 points. Before the news of Knicks' injury came out, Denver opened up as a 1.5 point favorite. Then when Nix went down with the ankle and they said that Stidham was going to start, it went up to 5.5 in favor of the Patriots. Now it's down to 4.5. So you're going to have to judge, what are they trying to get you to bet? And the other game, Seahawks 2.5 over the Rams. Now, when I look at the Mets, Mike, the one thing that I think is I'm a little concerned about their bullpen. What is Devin Williams going to be? What's Luke Weaver going to be? I mean, those are two really important changes. So of all the people they let go, the one person that I would not have let go is Edwin Diaz. And I don't understand that because they did bid $66 million for him. So they wanted him. They never bid anything for Alonso. They wanted him. And he got $69 million from the Dodgers. Now, did he come back to the Mets and they said no, or he just took the Dodger offer? I'm not sure. But that's the one that hurts. The bullpen, to me, is still a little bit of a question mark. Victor in Central Florida. Victor.
Michael K., how are you, my friend?
I'm good, Victor. How you doing?
I'm all right. Called you a couple times. You guys are awesome. I'm retired, moved to Central Florida. I'm coming up with a bumper sticker that's going to say, what will Michael K. do? You're in?
I'm in.
All right. Quick, one thing. What are you going to do if there's a lockout? I know I love baseball, too. I coached baseball when I lived in New Jersey and stuff. Baseball is my blood. It's
I will be very sad.
Blood, and I understand. Okay. Now, you said about the ratings of Fernando Mendoza. I was
Do you
born
think
in
that
Cuba.
moved the ratings that much?
Yes. Only because who knew about Indiana? I only watched the Hoosiers when I watched Gene Hackman coach the team. I understand that. But the thing is that I think the world was watching, and it was a Cinderella story. I'm a Hurricane fan. And I was tossed between the two of them. But you know what? When it comes down to it, you see when they focus in on the mother and how he talks about his parents. That's a good kid. I wish him well. Hope
Victor,
he succeeds with the Raiders.
He seems like a great guy. He was on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon yesterday, and he makes a really great impression. He's got a tremendous smile, all of that. And I think the Indiana story drew eyeballs as well. This was a team that never had a chance, and all of a sudden they're playing for the national championship. There were certainly storylines there. But what I'm saying is there were some storylines in the World Series last year, too, which got a really high rating. But the fact that this outrated the World Series, I don't get it. Ohtani's a huge storyline. Yamamoto, the great play of the Blue Jays and how they played the game, the comeback wins, the heroic performances. You know, a World Series is like a mini-series that builds up. The storylines build up. What becomes interesting? And, you know, obviously Game 7 was a spectacle. But the fact that this national championship game outrated Game 7 of the World Series, to me, it's wild. Just wild. Sebastian in Manhattan. Sebastian.
Hey, Michael. Thank you for taking my call.
You got it, my friend.
I just wanted to talk to you about your Mets prediction that they're favorites to come out of the East. You feel, but remember Alex Rodriguez, man, playing third base. At first, it was a struggle for him, and mind you, we're talking about Alex Rodriguez, one of the greatest defensive shortstops ever. And now, Bo Bichette, who is a below-average defender in general, is going to, transfer over to third base. I mean, I don't know how that, the defense, the infield defense is a huge glaring hole, in my opinion. And with Jorge Polanco at first, who's backing up Jorge Polanco? Jorge Polanco is not even a first baseman to begin with. So I think their infield defense, besides Simeon and Lindor,
but Sebastian, let me stop you there.
Glaring.
That's a big besides. I mean, your infield defense is built around up the middle, and they've got a really outstanding defensive shortstop and a Gold Glove winning second baseman. So I think that they're hoping for that. And listen, I cannot debate you. Bichette at third base is a head scratcher. As you mentioned, he's not a good defensive shortstop. And Alex Rodriguez was a top of the world shortstop. Now, I don't agree with it. I thought Alex Rodriguez made a pretty seamless transition over to third, but Bichette is not A-Rod when it comes to defense. So, yeah, those are question marks. And what Stearns is gambling on, these two guys, Polanco and Bichette started out as shortstops. They have great athleticism, and they should be able to transition to the corners. But as I mentioned, when you're building defense, you build it first up the middle, and up the middle's really, really good. Really good. You guys have not seen much of Lewis Robert Jr. He's an outstanding center fielder. Not just good, a 7 outs above average in center field. We know what Simeon and Lindor are. So up the middle, you're stout. Right field, you're below average. We'll see if Beatty or Benge could do what they have to do in left field. And we'll see what they do with the corners. Those are question marks. But I would just ask Met fans this. Are they better than the team that didn't make the playoffs last year? And I think the answer is yes. We'll have some of these questions for Joel Sherman, the baseball columnist from the New York Post. He's going to join us in just a moment. This should be fun talking with Joel, so hang around for that. Sal Palantonio at 2 o'clock, and we'll make the 2-pack for sure, our picks later on in the show. It's the K Show on a big Friday before Snowmageddon right here on ESPN New York. The experts at PC Richard & Son use a 4-step mattress fitting process to make sure that your new bed fits you perfectly. PC Richard & Son.
Friday with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Can the Broncos win without Bo Nix?
I said this at the start of the season. I felt like our 2 was inside the best 32, and I think everyone feels that way.
Will Sam Darnold do enough to get Seattle to the big game?
I'm going to turn it loose. If it's there and we get the coverage for the right play and I feel like it's there, I'm going to let it rip.
Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Not all F words are bad. Some are actually great, like fast, free fiber for 4 months. Yep, switch to Optimum Fiber for as low as $25 a month. Plus, for a limited time, you can get 4 months free, HBO Max included for 1 year, and a 5-year price lock. Don't wait, this free fiber deal won't last long, and the fastest, most reliable, most consistent internet speeds await you. Call 888-4-OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com/free today. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
Hey, sorry I missed you. Your call is very important to me. Just not as important as the New Jersey Lottery's Green Ball promotion being back on Pick 3 evening drawings. See, if the green ball's drawn, that's a free second chance to win? So, yeah, you get it. It's only through February 1st, though, so try me after then?
Must be 18 or older to buy a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. For game odds and promotion details, visit njlottery.com/pick3.
Welcome to Jake's 58 Casino Hotel, where excitement never stops. Unleash the fun with 2 floors of gaming action, featuring 1,000 cutting-edge video and electronic machines. Enjoy exceptional service at a prime location that places you right in the heart of Long Island's excitement. Stay and play in style with over 200 hotel rooms and treat yourself to a full range of dining options at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel.
If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Palmieri to the net. Score! The New York Islanders are back in action with a brand new theme night schedule you won't want to miss. Bring your friends out for the holidays and take home a custom holiday replica jersey or arrive early for special bobblehead giveaway nights for Matt Barzell and Bo Horvat.
Barzell for Horvat, score!
Explore the full theme night schedule at NewYorkIslanders.com.
Smalls here. Life is full of choices, some big, some small. And when you choose an H&R Block Tax Pro, you're choosing the largest network of tax expertise to be in your corner. For when your big ambitions need help with the small details. For when your six figures come from 6 different places. For when your gaming stream becomes your revenue stream. For when your business's year one needs 70 years of tax know-how. At H&R Block, they've seen it all. And they're here to help you make the most out of your money for life outside the box.
Empower.
After wanting one for years, Kevin is finally enjoying his new hot tub.
This is the life.
He worked with Empower to help him get good at money, so now he can be a little bad.
Oh, no, not my phone.
Oh, Kevin. Kevin's phone may be in hot water, but his finances aren't. Invest well, live a little. Start today at Empower.com.
Welcome back to the show. We're talking some baseball, airing some grievances. You'd think that Yankee and Met fans would feel better about their teams than they did last Friday. A guy who's been on top of it the whole offseason, and that is a guy that I read religiously. I actually pray while I read. That's why I read him religiously, and that is Joel Sherman, the baseball columnist from the New York Post. You can see him on MLB Network as well, and he joins us now. Hey, Joel, how are you?
I'm great. Mike, yourself?
I'm good. I look at the Mets with the moves they've made, Joel, and I say, to me, they're now the favorite in the National League East. Do you feel the same way? Do you like the stuff they've done?
I do, especially because so much of it has felt like going to the line of scrimmage and, having a running play called and seeing 9 guys in the box and having to audible out of it. I don't think that this was close to kind of like what Plan A looked like. The only thing that would give me as any hesitancy, Mike, is history. We often feel like the team that gets the most famous players and spends the most money in the off season, wins the off season. And the history isn't really like that, and Met history isn't like that. I mean, there's certainly some between like 2005 and 2006. When they bring in Delgado and Billy Wagner, they go on to have the best record in the National League, but our friends John Harper and Bob Clappish ended up writing the worst team money could buy, on a Bobby Bonilla, Eddie Murray one. In more recent vintage, like there's last offseason, it's Juan Soto, Pete Alonso, etc. Buck Showalter's last season is, Justin Verlander and a bunch of stuff, and those didn't go well. And, it's the only thing that gives me hesitancy, because if I looked at each individual move, especially knowing that many of them were not move number one, I liked how the Mets maneuvered using Steve Cohen's money, a much better farm system than where they were 24, 36 months ago, and what was on the table possible for them. I like their moves. The only thing that gives me hesitancy is, like, usually whoever we crown this time of year, we end up, like, regretting that we crowned them, including the last offseason, the Mets.
Right. Well, listen, I love the signing of Bichette because I love him as a hitter. I'm not sure. The only gives me some hesitancy, and some of our callers have brought up as well. Stearns had preached, run prevention, and they're very, very good up the middle. But at the corners of the infield, you have 2 neophytes playing those positions. Do you think Bichette can play third at a average level?
Mike, I do, but with hesitancy. I think first base is not. I think, like Ron Washington in Moneyball, I think it's it's incredibly difficult. Mm-hmm. But they're jumping off from Pete Alonso, who was never a great first baseman, and I thought really took a step backward from that last off season. And they have kind of a pivot. If Polanco can't do it, I think they feel very strongly that Brett Beatty and Mark Vientos can at major league average, and Polanco could become the DH. They have no move like that for third base, really. I mean, they could go back to Beatty, but do you really want to make Bichette your DH at that point? They're going full in. I think Bichette is very much a worker. I talked to his dad for quite a while at the press conference. His dad, Dante Bichette, was an excellent major league player for a long time. He talked about what was going on already with him, what some of the problems. He had a finger issue. He had fractured finger. And last offseason, because of the way a fractured finger is, where you can't sweat, you can't have it throb, you could have problems. He didn't condition at all last offseason. He was never a very good shortstop. It was worse because his conditioning, his movements weren't good. I think everything the Mets believe is he has enough athleticism, first step quickness, and enough arm to make it happen. But, Mike, I have 100% confidence that Bo Bichette will hit. I have about a 90 to 95% confidence he will handle New York. The confidence is less. It's over 50%, but it's less that he'll handle third base because I just think, as you know, Mike, it's just a different position. Both of us are very familiar, right? Alex Rodriguez is a workhorse and made it happen. Like, he turned into a very good third baseman. Jazz Chisholm often looked lost playing third base when he switched from second, especially on things like relay plays and stuff. You have to learn how to handle bunts in a way a shortstop doesn't, where you have to be on relays, playing the line. There's more to it, quicker reactions. I think Bichette will be up to it, but it's the one I have a lot more doubt about.
All right, let's shift over to the Yankees. You get emails, I'm sure, and you must look at things on social media. Yankee fans, again, and I said this at the beginning of the show, I don't know if this is the majority or a very, very, very vocal minority. They are not happy that this team is essentially running back a team that won 94 games other than bringing in Weathers. What do you think of this team? Because Vegas still thinks this team is the best team in the American League. Your thoughts on what they've done?
Yeah, Mike, I mean, just for the record, I actually don't look at anything on social media, and at controversial times, I don't read my email. I think I have a thicker spine than most, but why put myself through that? Mm-hmm. So I'm generally aware of what's going on because, I have friends who are both Met and Yankee fans, and so I hear it. I think you hit a key point, Mike. If you go to any Las Vegas casino, they see this team as very strong. I know people say they're running it back, but once a player is a free agent, they could go play for all 30 teams. They're not really on your team. You have to have a desire to bring them back. The Yankees had desire to bring these players back. And I wouldn't undersell Ryan Weathers. Every one of what we would call the smart teams. There were 8 to 10 teams, including the Mets, by the way, trying very hard to trade for Ryan Weathers, who is kind of like an untapped gem. This was a top 10 draft pick who has well above average stuff. And the question is, will he stay healthy? If he stays healthy, you might have a number 3 type starter. So bringing that in, the Yankees beat out teams to get him. Teams, plural, many, to get him. They should at some point get Rodon and Cole back. And this team that maybe they didn't like did win 94 games last year. Their bugaboo was they could never figure out the Blue Jays, who beat them in the AL East and beat them in the playoffs. And will they in 2026? I don't know. But the other thing I would remember is they did add a lot of players at the July trade deadline who are going to be part of this team, which was like an in-season free agency ahead of free agency, who were not with the team. And I do think in the set, it looked bad because they got blown out by the Blue Jays. Mm-hmm. But I did think the Yankees of the last 6-7 weeks were a really kind of very good baseball team. They did almost everything on the field well. Will that carry over plus Cole, plus maybe whatever upside of Weathers might be? I have some real questions in their bullpen, but the last 35 years would suggest the Yankees are going to figure out how to win 90-plus games and be in it. Until I see that not happen, I will probably assume that's what's going to happen.
What do you say, though, to fans that say, they always have a chance to get into the fans have dismissed that. Yankee fans seem like they dismissed that. It's either you got to win a World Series or we failed. What do you say when they say, okay, but this team has not done well in the postseason, although 2 years ago they went to the World Series, but they're come back to that as, but they beat, crappy, Central Division teams. But it's not like they booked St. Leo like Georgetown used to. What do you say to those fans that say this lineup and the way they score runs and hit home runs, it doesn't work that well in the postseason?
Yeah, traditionally the team that hits the most home runs in a series wins the series. You know, like of all the things that happened in them not going, you know, advancing last year, you know, arguably the biggest thing was Max Fried didn't pitch well, and Max Fried had a great year. Like, would you reverse the Max Fried decision because he had a bad day against the Blue Jays in October? I think it's very it's on the record, Mike. They have stopped winning to the level they used to in October. I'm not exactly sure that you can acquire October players. I don't know what that means. Like, I mean, obviously there's some players who have a little bit of history, are better at it than others, but I'm not sure those players are easily gettable or that they will have good postseason. You know, I just think they're small samples and it's hard. I don't think it's a complete crapshoot. I don't buy that, but it is hard in the postseason. Having said that and given them, I think the closest analogy to the Yankees in sports right now is a little bit the Buffalo Bills, right? We just have I think it's a 9-year period under Sean McDermott where they went to the playoffs 8 out of 9 years. You know, Brandon Beane's the GM, and they have this kind of like outsized player in Josh Allen as their best player. It's a little bit Cashman, Boone, and Aaron Judge, like for this period. And this will be Boone's 9th year. So far, he's made the playoffs 7 out of 8, but he hasn't gotten the chip. So is the question, and Sean McDermott just lost his job. Is Boone under some threat in the same way? I mean, you and I know how both Brian Cashman and the Steinbrenners feel about Boone. And I always am leery of it's easy to fire, but, you know, your next hire from Tom Coughlin might be Ben McAdoo. So, you know, you got to be careful about like just willy-nilly people who have great success. I think the Yankees are generally well run, but I would make this example also. The Mets have done a lot in Steve Cohen's 5 years owning the team. And if I were a betting man, which I'm not, I would assume that the Cohen-David Stearns duo will, over the next few years, figure this out where the Mets become a little bit more like the Dodgers and the Yankees and like make the playoffs every 7 or 8 out of 10 years. I do think that they'll probably figure it out. But here in these first 5 years, they've spent a remarkable amount of money. And they have had, in that period, 2 of the most disappointing seasons in the history of a franchise. Has a lot of disappointments. The second year of Buck Showalter, where, you know, they add Verlander, et cetera, and they don't even make the playoffs. And then they add Juan Soto from the Yankees, keep Pete Alonso, and they don't even beat out the Reds for the final playoff spot. I know that people think making the playoffs year after year is easy. If anything, the Mets should be showing Yankee fans that there is something to being able to get into that tournament year after year. I know that's not enough for especially the most vocal part of Yankee fans, but you know, again, look in New York. Like, the Knicks are stumbling, like, when we thought they were going to be great. Like, it's hard to be good year after year. And the Yankees are well above average year after year.
Talking with Joel Sherman of the New York Post, do you believe that this free agent market that, you know, Tucker gets a contract that present-day value $57 million a year, Bichette over 40, and if you look at Bellinger's in a certain way, that's 42.5 a year for the first 2 years, and then he might opt out. Is this going to lead to a CBA Armageddon where the owners are intent this time on getting a salary cap?
Mike, I think no matter what these free agents got this offseason, and I think this is a natural outgrowth of what these bigger market teams would rather do, which is like NBA it, like give a lot annual value for a short period of time to have Kevin Durant or LeBron James, et cetera, rather than, you know, like Kyle Tucker had a 10-year, $350 million offer on the table, and the Dodgers came in and blew it away short term with less total money, but more per year. And I think that like bigger market teams are going to do this. Mike, I kind of in my gut believe that Rob Manfred is about to, this is his last term as commissioner. He's got a few more years. This is his last collective bargaining agreement. He was the lead negotiator for Bud Selig before he became commissioner. I believe that, you know, he has to, for this group of owners, try his darndest to get a salary cap. And I do not believe that I'm not sure the sport will ever get there, but without losing a ton of baseball games in the 2027 season, I think there's no shot at that. And so the question becomes, does there have to be at the beginning of next year missed games? So and the commissioner sits on the sideline and waits till enough owners say, okay, we can live without a salary cap again, or do not enough owners do that and say, I'd rather we miss a whole season? And then you have the question of, like, are you, saving the city and destroying the country? Like, what's left in the sport if it goes out of sight and out of mind for a while? I hate to say it, Mike. We're 100% going to have a lockout, and I think that there's well over a 50% chance that we miss games next year, because it almost feels like that stare down has to happen on some level, and who blinks first. But I think it's a dangerous time for baseball to not be on the field. And I think we're in a good moment, right? Like, it was a great World Series last year. You have the WBC again this spring. It was great last time. I feel like baseball's doing a little better in the national conscious, and it would be a real burn to we're going to have a lockout. That's going to hurt to begin to miss, spring training / games. I think it's a dangerous place to be. I hope that statesmen rise up and avoid that. But Mike, I just feel like the sides have a history that suggests, if you said to me, what do you think is going to happen, I'd be shocked if we don't miss some games.
Okay, so this is a very complicated question with about a minute to answer it. If they don't get a cap, do you believe in what you know of the way the team operates, that the Steinbrenner family might say it's time for us to cash out our chips, because it's just hard to compete with a monolith like Guggenheim Partners and a guy who has a $22 billion fortune? Might they say that's it for us?
Yeah, Mike, I'll try to do it in a minute. I try to tell my friends who are Yankee fans, I say, when you invoke George Steinbrenner used to run unopposed to get the best free agents. Well, then the Guggenheims came along, and so then there was a superpower on the West Coast. And then Steve Cohen came along, and it wasn't competing against the non-competitive Wilpons, even in New York. And suddenly Rogers, that owns the Blue Jays in Toronto, remembered, we're Rogers. We're the largest company in this country. We might have more money than any owner. And now they don't even run unimpeded in the AL East. They're dealing in a completely different forum. And the business of the Steinbrenners is baseball as opposed to all these other places. And is the business of baseball enough to own a mega team like the Yankees? I think they'll probably stare into the abyss and ask that question. And then me and you will be talking on your show one day about, wow, I can't believe the Yankees sold for $12 billion.
Right. What an interesting time we're looking at. Thank you for coming on, Joel. I appreciate your time. Have a great weekend.
Yes, anytime, Mike. Thanks.
You got it. Sal Palantonio will join us at 2 o'clock. We'll talk some football. FanDuel is turning on playoff mode. All customers get a profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Each game day during the championship round, you'll find a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you in the app. More boosts mean more ways to level up your playoff bets. Pick the matchups you believe in, take your shot on an upset, or build a parlay that fits the moment. You know the Patriots are traveling to Denver and the Rams are traveling to Seattle. Which way do you feel on those games? Then apply your profit boost and go after even bigger payouts while the playoffs keep rolling. So visit FanDuel.com/local and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For the gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. That's 467-369.
1-877-CARS for kids. KARS, Cars for kids. 1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS for kids.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Health surprises can change your life in an instant. You've seen it happen to others, but it doesn't have to be your story. At Princeton Longevity Center, we customize actionable and proactive health plans to maximize your lifespan and take control of your health. Our Cancer Check program combines cutting-edge technology with top medical expertise to keep you ahead of potential risks. With advanced full-body imaging, genetic testing, and multi-cancer detection blood tests, we look for even the earliest signs of problems. Results are analyzed by expert physicians who craft a personalized plan to safeguard your future. You're not just a patient, you're a partner in your health journey, backed by a team committed to helping you live longer, healthier, and more vibrantly. Our programs have saved hundreds of lives and empowered countless others to take control of their health. Be proactive with your health for the ultimate peace of mind. Call 888-8000-PLC or visit PrincetonLongevityCenter.com.
Hey, New York and New Jersey, Boost Mobile has an unlimited talk, text, and data plan that's only $25 a month forever, meaning you'll only ever pay $25 a month for the rest of your life. Who wouldn't want unlimited wireless when it only costs $25 a month forever? If you don't, you must be one of those people who enjoy overpaying for their phone plan. $25 a month forever is truly as good as it gets, so go online and switch now at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
Show your team spirit and say big only at Security Dodge during the Start Something New sales event. For a limited time, score an extra $500 off on top of all rebates and new incentives, just for coming in and wearing your favorite team's jersey or swag. High school, college, or pro, football, basketball, hockey, and every sport in between. It's easy to win big at Security Dodge in Amityville. Visit us today or shop 24/7 at securitydodge.com.
Rich Eisen here. Hiring for your small business can feel like a full-time job, but LinkedIn Jobs AI Assistant takes the heavy lifting out of it. It filters applicants based on the criteria you set and suggests 25 great fit candidates daily so you can invite them to apply and keep things moving. Hire right the first time. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Eisen, then promote it to use LinkedIn Jobs' new AI Assistant, making it easier and faster to find top candidates. That's linkedin.com/Eisen to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Then promote it to use LinkedIn Jobs' new AI Assistant, making it easier and faster to find top candidates. That's linkedin.com/Eisen to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a Pepper thing.
Step inside the game you love with the NBA app. Tap to watch every game as it's happening.
Jalen Brunson does it again!
And never miss a moment of the jaw-dropping action. Get closer to the players than anywhere else. Follow the latest schedules, scores, and stats. Keep up with every story from across the league. And with NBA ID, it's all personalized to you. The game lives here. Download today.
Hey, Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time. 7:30 p.m. The Nets try to bounce back from just a dreadful loss to the Knicks, so they'll host the Celtics at the Barclays Center. That game's going to be on Yes. 10 p.m. The Rangers are in San Jose to play the Sharks. Coverage begins at 9:30 p.m. And that'll be right here on ESPN New York. Also at 10 p.m., the Devils are in Vancouver to play the Canucks. Now, Don, yesterday, he's going to be doing the game tonight on MSG, I think, too. He actually tried sushi for the first time. So Don, being the gourmand that he is, decided to try sushi for the first time in Vancouver. Make it make sense. I'm sure he'll explain how it tasted and what he thinks about it on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg, which starts at 3. Tullamore Dew the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew. Try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glass up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. All right, let's go back to the phones. Let's go to Jim in Milford. What's up, my friend, Jim?
Yes. Hello, Michael.
Hello.
I was taking a look at the Yankees pitching staff, and
the Yankees are going to need their pitching to come through if they're going to make a run at the division title.
Mm-hmm.
We've got pitchers that are injured with all kinds of injuries, and pitchers don't always come back, the same after injuries, especially arm injuries. I mean, Tommy John surgery, we have Garrett Cole and Clark Schmidt, both with Tommy John surgery and not expected to come back until later in the season. Carlos Rodon with elbow surgery. I mean, we need these guys. We're going to have to rely on Luis Hill, who wasn't the same after his back strain last year. And you got Will Warren, who's questionable. Cam Slittler, who's really unproven. And they've picked up Ryan Weathers. We don't know much about him, except I just checked his Major League record over the last 2 years. He's 7 wins and 8 losses. So I don't know how much you're going to get out of him. But the pitching is a big concern. And if these guys don't come back right away and don't come back the same, the Yankees are going to be in some trouble.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more, but, I mean, you're looking at it as the glass half full. The Yankees think that Rodon is going to be Rodon. Rodon came off a terrific year last year. You're right. Garrett Cole is older, coming off his first Tommy John surgery. He's a pitching savant, mechanically very, very sound. He's supposed to be back by June. Now, if Rodon and Cole don't perform up to the back of their baseball card, the Yankees have some issues. Max Fried had a really good year for the Yankees last year. Cam Slittler, you said he's untested, but the times that he was tested, he showed he was, as the kids say, a dog in the game against the Red Sox. Pitched actually pretty well against the Blue Jays as well. You can have him for the full season from the end of March to the end of September. So that's a big thing. And don't just dismiss Will Warren. Will Warren gave you 33 starts, never missed a start last year, and he's a year into his career now and is only going to get better. Clark Schmidt, I wouldn't look at Clark Schmidt as being any part of an impactful player for most of the year. He might come back at the end of August. So I don't even put him into the equation. But the Yankees feel like they have enough pitching. And again, any staff, you can say that about any staff. So the Red Sox have put together a good staff. Is Sonny Gray going to pitch well in the American League East? He didn't with the Yankees. How's Suarez going to play? He's not a hard thrower. Red Sox usually have hard throwers. We know Crochet is great. And how's Bayo going to be? Again, there's a lot of ifs for every single team. Dylan Cease's numbers last year were not great. And the Toronto Blue Jays gave him a 7-year, $210 million deal. Once again, you could say that about any single team. If their starters are hurt or they don't perform to the back of their baseball card, the team's in trouble. The Yankees, with the information they have from their medicals, they feel that Cole's going to be Cole and that Rodon's going to be fine and that Fried's going to be Fried. So let's look at it in a positive way then. If the three of them pitch to the back of their baseball card, the Yankees, you could argue, have one of the best starting staffs in baseball. And as they say, if ifs and buts were candies and nuts, we'd all have a wonderful wonderful Christmas. That's why this is fun. There are no absolutes. We don't know how they're going to be. You can only judge percentages, what you think they're going to be, and the likelihood of them being that. When Garrett Cole is healthy, is he a great pitcher? Yes. When Carlos Rodon is healthy, is he a really good pitcher? Yes. Max Fried showed what he could do last year, although he didn't pitch well in the Toronto series. If he's healthy, again, if healthy, they have one of the best starting staffs in the game. Cam Slittler, like he's the real deal. Guy that throws that hard and also has a lot of cubes, doesn't scare easily. Those are all good things to bank on. So you're taking the negative view. Yankees are going to take the glass half full view. Sal Palantonio joins us in just a moment, talking NFL playoffs this weekend. Hey, it's Michael K. Not sleeping? Well, it could be your mattress. That's why I always recommend my friends at PC Richard & Son. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step mattress fitting process so that your new bed fits you perfectly. They guarantee it. Top brands like Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. And in-home delivery on any mattress, $199 and up is free. So do what I do. Get to PC Richard & Son for your new mattress. Free delivery excludes Manhattan.
Ox Spine at New York Presbyterian is always in pursuit of a better way to heal the spine. We're getting more people moving again with minimally invasive, non-surgical, and surgical treatments with innovative solutions for every back and spine condition and your unique needs. Expert spine care is available now across New York City and Westchester. Find a doctor at nyp.org/oxspine. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
Hey, this is Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson for three.
And this is your home for New York Knicks basketball. This is 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
Everyone needs to take care of their mental health, even running back Bijan Robinson.
When I'm on the field and feeling the pressure, I usually just take a deep breath. When I'm just breathing and seeing what's in front of me, everything just slows down. It just makes me feel great before I run the play.
Just like Bijan, we all need a strong mental game on and off the field. Make a game plan for your mental health at loveyourmindplaybook.org.
Love your mind.
Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Foundation, the Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation, and the Ad Council.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Lease the new 2025 Mazda CX-50 2.5S Select with all-wheel drive for $179 for 33 months. Or buy with 0.9% APR financing for 72 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely, choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for lease details. VIN SN379853, MSRP $33,425. Zero security deposit, APR $14.27 per month per $1,000 finance, ends 2/2/26.
Benjamin Franklin, sir, I've just received news.
Speak.
They're multiplying you.
Multiplying me?
Yes, many times.
Multiple Benjamins?
Shall I stop it?
No.
Multiply your Benjamins with New York Lottery's Extra Multiplier Scratch-Off games. Play for the chance to multiply your winnings up to 100 times. Prizes up to $3 million.
I've won! I've multiplied myself! We won!
Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Progressive knows there's so many great things about being a sports fan. Like scoring the company box seats. How great is that? Trick plays that actually work. Prevent defense when your team is winning by a lot. And even more preventative prevent defense as they're hanging on by a thread. And of course, saving money when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. That's pretty great. Just like trick plays that actually work.
Yeah, but how often does that happen?
Complaining about sports? Not so great. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Life is full of choices, some big, some small. And when you choose an H&R Block Tax Pro, you're choosing the largest network of tax expertise to be in your corner. For when your big ambitions need help with the small details. For when your six figures come from 6 different places. For when your gaming stream becomes your revenue stream. For when your business's year one needs 70 years of tax know-how. At H&R Block, we've seen it all, and we're here to help you make the most out of your money for life outside the box. Get started at hrblock.com.
So big football weekend, NFC, AFC Championships, and our good buddy Sal Palantonio is on his way to Denver, where he will be part of the coverage of the AFC Championship game, and we love getting inside that brilliant football mind, and he's nice enough to join us for the second hour of the show. Hey, Sal, how you doing?
Michael, I'm just a guy on TV talking about football. I appreciate the introduction. I'm doing pretty good. All things considered, with this storm bearing down on us, hopefully I'll get into Denver, no problem. The question is, will I get out of Denver? I may just stay in Denver, Michael.
Yeah, that might be a good idea. That might be a good idea. Now, before we even talk about the games, I know that you have a really good relationship with John Harbaugh. You've known him since he was special teams coach in Philly. You were embedded with him during the Super Bowl run. Tell me what the Giants got. Tell me if you think that he could make this Giant situation work right away.
Okay. I think that he can. He's a great motivator. He's a very positive person. He will really connect with players individually. He's a great communicator. He will set the agenda. He's a good CEO. He is a good game day coach. He's a good locker room guy. And all those things are really important, I think, right now in the National Football League. When you look at some of the teams that have had instant transformations, like New England with Mike Vrabel, like it took a little bit of time, but with the Lions and Dan Campbell, certainly Ben Johnson in Chicago, D'Amico Ryans in Houston. These guys are culture change guys. We kind of thought it would happen with Aaron Glenn, but it didn't. But that's because they really had a quarterback problem there. And this is the issue. if you can find a head coach that can create a culture change and also coach the quarterback, design offenses, and call plays like Ben Johnson, like Sean Payton in Denver. Vrabel's got Josh McDaniels doing that in New England with Drake May. You need that guy. So the last shoe to drop, the last element that's very important to John Harbaugh's hiring in New York is who's going to coach Jackson Dart. Now, there was a great piece this morning in the New York Post. Steve Serby did the interview with Jackson Dart, that he's very anxious to speak with John Harbaugh on a day-to-day level once they get in there together in April and they go through their off-season program. But I still, color me a little skeptical on what's going to happen with the offensive coordinator position, because you got to have that guy. That's the missing piece to the puzzle that they didn't have with the Jets, and Robert Saleh is going to have in Tennessee, and the new coach, Jesse Minter, is going to have in Baltimore. If you've got the guy who can design offense, call plays, and culture change, Ben Johnson, Sean Payton, then you got something really big.
Is that guy Monken, who is still up for the Browns head coaching position? Would that guy be Monken?
Well, the reason why it could be Todd Monken is he's experienced at calling plays. He definitely experienced at play design. He has handled a dual-threat quarterback in Baltimore and Lamar Jackson. I just don't really like the way he calls plays in critical games. I think that has held John Harbaugh back. It's what held him back with Lamar Jackson. They relied too much on Lamar Jackson. 58 dropbacks against Kansas City at home in the AFC Championship game, and Mahomes walks out of there with the AFC title. They go to Baltimore. They don't use Derrick Henry. He only carries the ball 16 times against the Buffalo Bills on the road, and they lose that game. Of course, they had some turnovers, but if they had controlled the clock and the sticks and down and distance with their running game, they would have had more success. Nevertheless, of all the guys out there, Monken could probably be the best guy for Jackson Dart, because Jackson Dart needs an experienced guy who's level-headed, has good emotional intelligence on the sideline or in the coaching box, can call plays and design plays, and most important, teach Jackson Dart to protect himself. He's absolutely got to do that.
Now, we're talking with Sal Palantonio here on the K Show. Our colleague Adam Schefter reporting that Phillip Rivers is interviewing for the Bills head coaching job. Does that come as a little bit of a shock to you? This is a guy who has really only been a high school coach. Now, he's a high-end quarterback that kind of ran their offense for the Chargers forever. Can you believe that they're actually considering Phillip Rivers?
I can, because of what I just said. I think you need a culture change, and you need somebody who can handle Josh Allen. That to me, is critical in Buffalo. Mm-hmm. And I know there's been a lot of criticism about the way the Buffalo Bills owner, Terry Pagula, and Brandon Beane have handled the whole Sean McDermott, move on from Sean McDermott situation. Let's fire Sean McDermott because, we lost the game in Denver. I was there last week. I saw it happen firsthand. I was in the locker room. I saw Josh Allen inconsolable, and then up at the press conference. I know what happened there. I understand it. If you're telling me that it's akin to Tampa when they had to move on from Tony Dungy, when they needed a new voice in that locker room, and it turned out to be John Gruden, and 1 year later, John Gruden takes them to the Super Bowl and wins it, beats the Oakland Raiders out in San Diego. Okay, good, fantastic. Need a new voice? Forget it. Maybe Sean McDermott, they had to move on with Sean McDermott. But don't tell me that the reason why you fired Sean McDermott was because Josh Allen was crying in the locker room. I mean, that's just crazy. Sean McDermott doesn't deserve that. Has 100 wins in the NFL. Mm-hmm. I mean, and has, worked with a very limited roster there in Buffalo for years. But if you're saying to me you need a new voice in the locker room, I get it. Happens all the time in the National Football League. Move on from Sean McDermott. If you tell me you're hiring Phillip Rivers to change the culture and also change the narrative around your quarterback, try it. See what happens. I like Phillip Rivers a lot. And he showed that he still understands the National Football League. And, you could do worse. You really could. Now, would I hire Brian Daboll over Phillip Rivers? I absolutely would. Because Daboll, to me, had great success with Josh Allen, knows how to handle a dual-threat quarterback on the same page in so many levels. So, I would not be opposed to them going back to Daboll either.
Do you think it's a wise move, Sal? You've been around the NFL forever, that Josh Allen is in on every single interview that the Bills are having for the head coaching job?
I don't like it. I'm a little old school in that, Michael. I don't want my quarterback dictating who the head coach is going to be, because that head coach has got to be the head coach of all 53 guys.
Yep.
He's got to be the CEO of the team, offense, defense, special teams. He's got to speak for everybody in the locker room. And if the players going in there know that it was the quarterback that picks the coach, I'm not sure that worked. I mean, Drake May wasn't in the room to pick Mike Vrabel, right? I mean, that's, to me, this is the no. I mean, Trevor Lawrence wasn't in the room to pick Liam Cohen. He may have said, hey, this is a guy I can work with. This is a guy's offense I like. He may have had some input, but I don't like him being in the room. I mean, you don't put the sergeant in the room to pick the colonel. You just don't.
Maybe they saw Hamilton and they liked the song, in the room. That could have been it, because that's the only thing that makes sense. All right, let's talk about the games. You're on the way to Denver. There is no Bo Nix. Denver at home is a 4.5-point underdog to the Patriots. Can Denver still win this game, Sal, based on their defense and the quarterback not making a mistake?
Right. So the answer to your question is yes. So let's see how they can do it. How can Denver win this game? To me, the most important part of what Denver is going to do this weekend is not Jarrett Stidham. He's not the most important player on the team. The most important player on the team is the center and the offensive line of the Denver Broncos. I mean, anybody who's been paying attention to these playoffs knows what's been happening. Number one, what's the most critical factor in this postseason in the NFL? Record number of fourth-quarter lead changes in this postseason, most ever. Quarterbacks got to make a play in the fourth quarter. Got to protect them. Number two, what's the most important thing that's happened in this postseason? Turnovers. A record number of turnovers, 38 turnovers, the most in the last 25 years, and 33 of them by quarterbacks, also the most in the last quarter century. So you have to protect these quarterbacks, and if you don't, you're in for big problems, just like Houston was last week. So what has New England been doing? New England blitzed C.J. Stroud 47% of his dropbacks. I just got out of NFL Films. We just
I didn't realize it was that many. Wow, 47%.
47, double their rate during the regular season, and the most they blitzed in the postseason since Belichick was there in 2006. So Mike Vrabel has decided the road to the Super Bowl is through blitzing the quarterback. Their blitz percentage has gone up each and every week since week 11 and exploded against C.J. Stroud. And the Texans did not have a plan to block him up. And Stroud was under duress, Michael, and we all saw it, was rattled and broke down. And now you got Jarrett Stidham, who hasn't thrown a meaningful pass in an NFL game in 2 years. The Patriots are coming. The Broncos better be ready. Now, the Broncos' offensive line, as we know, has had the best pass block win rate in the NFL this season. So they can definitely block them up. But the other aspect of this is, one, do you have the answers to the blitz? Is Sean Payton going to give Stidham the answers to the blitz where, if it's coming, what's my outlet? Where's the ball going? And when Sean Payton says he wants Jarrett Stidham to rip it, he wants him to grip it and rip it. We want the ball out in 2.5 seconds or under. We want a Tom Brady-like. They want option routes at the line of scrimmage so that when the blitz is coming, Stidham turns his head and the ball comes out of his hands. That's the way they win this game. And, they got it's really interesting, too, when you look at that Denver Broncos coaching staff, that brain trust. You got Sean Payton, he won a Super Bowl. Offensive coordinator is Joe Lombardi. Hello, he's Vince Lombardi's grandson. Pete Carmichael is the quarterback's coach. He coached Drew Brees with the Saints. He was there with Sean Payton and the Saints. They got Davis Webb, who everybody thinks is a new head coach in the making.
Mm-hmm.
They got some bright guys there. So they better take care of that quarterback. That's, to me, is the whole game right there. That's it.
Let me throw this angle at you, though. If you watch May, all right, they've won their 2 games, but he's turned the ball over a little bit more than he did during the regular season. Denver has a really good defense. Do you think that they can get to May and discombobulate him?
Yeah, Greg Cosell has a great piece on the matchup show. Debuts tomorrow on ESPN, too. And Cosell does a great breakdown of problems that Will Campbell, the rookie left tackle for the New England Patriots, had against the Houston Texans, against the Chargers in the last 2 playoff games, and will have with Nick Benito. You're absolutely right. So, again, are you protecting the quarterback? Are you preventing turnovers? This is the number one thing. These coaches don't do a good job of protecting their quarterbacks, and these quarterbacks are reckless with the football. So you absolutely must protect. Everybody is blitzing in these playoffs. Seattle's blitzing. The Rams are blitzing. The Patriots are blitzing at a clip of almost 50% of the time. The Broncos don't have to blitz because they have 2 great pass rushers, and they got Zach Allen up the middle, who had the number 1 quarterback hits and pressures in the National Football League among all defensive tackles. So you're right. They have got to protect May, and they got to protect Jarrett Stidham in this game.
Now, I'm sure in the matchup show you also looked at the other game. What are the keys for the Seahawks over the Rams? The Rams struggled in both of their games. They've ping-ponged back and forth across the country. Seahawks have played 1 game, never had to leave Seattle. They're 2.5-point favorites. How do you see this one, Sal?
Well, I just think, Matthew Stafford, Michael, is the best quarterback remaining. And the passing concepts that we show in the matchup show that Sean McVay has, multiple formation variations and personnel variations, is truly remarkable. And I think I said this to you a couple of weeks ago when I was on your show. Puka Nacua is the best player in the NFL. You can't cover that. When a guy's not open, he's open. Catches everything. And too many times last week in frigid Chicago, Dennis Allen, the defensive coordinator of Chicago Bears, let Puka Nacua have a free release off the line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
And Nacua would just turn around, and Stafford would put him on it, put the ball on him, and he would turn upfield. And, he's strong. Nacua is strong, tough to bring down, and great hands. To me, that's the number one thing that goes on in this football game is Matthew Stafford. If they don't have a good plan for Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, and when they put those 3 tight ends on the field, Seattle's going to have a problem.
Aren't you? I mean, I was just blown away, though, by the way Seattle dominated its game. Their defense seemed like impenetrable, and you seem to think that the Rams will have the answer for that.
Well, it was Brock Purdy underhand. He's sort of undermanned on offense,
right?
And Seattle has the Niners number, so I think it's Matthew Stafford's just completely different. And so is Sean McVay in terms of play calling. And the ball comes out of his hands quicker. He's got so many options with the football. I do like Seattle's defense. Who wouldn't like their defense? But, I just love Stafford and the way he's playing right now, the design of that offense. I do have the Rams moving on. I think it's just impossible to think that the Patriots would lose to Jarrett Stidham. It's just, right? It's insane. It's crazy.
It would be amazing, and that Peyton's probably really playing that up. That it's not about Stidham; it's about everybody else doing their job. And do they believe? And is that true? So, do they let Stidham play quarterback, Sal, or do they let him just be managing the game? Don't do anything to mess up.
Well, it's hard to say that to any player, right?
Yeah.
Don't mess up. It's also difficult to execute. Just go out there and, make some plays because he hasn't done that. And I was watching Steve Young with Michael Wilbon and Tony Kornheiser a couple of days ago. might have been yesterday on, pardon the interruption. And Steve Young was talking about, and this is something that I've heard from players for years and years and years, but he brought it up again. He said the speed of the game is just so much different in the championship level and the Super Bowl. It's just, and it's impossible to duplicate that speed on the practice field. So Stidham's got to get his sea legs and let that happen first. Now, if they get Dobbins back, J.K. Dobbins, who's been out since November 9th with that foot injury, if they get him back and maybe run the ball a little bit more, I'm not saying make it the dominant feature of the offense because you do want to score, but run the ball a little bit more. I think that is important. You got to remember that Bo Nix in the last 2 weeks has not only been the leading passer for the Broncos, but he's been the leading rusher. So, you're not going to ask Stidham to run the football, that's for sure. He's not the Bo Nix kind of player. He's not a dual threat at all. But you certainly want to be able to run it, and Dobbins may be able to do a better job of blitz pickup than R.J. Harvey, the rookie running back that they have in Denver. I mean, a lot of things have to go right, Michael, a lot. It's like Super Bowl 52. It's very much akin to that, where everything had to go right for the Eagles to beat Tom Brady when he threw for 505 yards in that game. Everything did go right. I'll just remind you of this one thing. Nick Foles, the ultimate Patriots slayer, was drafted in the 4th round, the number 133 pick overall. Jarrett Stidham was drafted in the 4th round, the 133 pick overall.
Look at you, bringing the nuggets, man. Look at you.
Mike, I'm just saying, Michael. I'm just saying. I'm putting that out there. That's all I'm doing for you.
That's all you're doing? I love it. I love it. Now, the matchup show, what time tomorrow does it show on ESPN2?
I believe it's 8:30 a.m. Eastern.
Okay.
Don't hold me to that. That's why we have DVRs and streaming and all that stuff and on demand. Got to get with the times, Michael. We got to stream. Got to stream out there, baby.
Oh, streaming's so important. So important. Now, let me just, before I let you go, let me double back to Harbaugh. He in an interview, he was singing the praises of Rex Ryan. Would he hire Rex Ryan as a defensive coordinator for the Giants?
No, didn't that, they won a Super Bowl together.
Mm-hmm.
Marvin Lewis actually ran the defense. Rex Ryan was a linebackers coach assistant to Marvin Lewis when they won the Super Bowl together. I was actually embedded with him, as you mentioned, all the way to New Orleans, and I was the only reporter he allowed in the team hotel down there in New Orleans when they played San Francisco. I do have a close relationship with him and close working relationship with him. And I've always found him to be, a straight shooter. And I think he works well with Rex. Rex is sort of, the snap, crackle, pop to John Harbaugh's straight and narrow.
Mm-hmm.
But we've all seen the dog and pony show of my brother Rex. And I wonder if that would steal some of the spotlight from John Harbaugh there at Quest Diagnostic Center or whatever they're calling it right now. But by the way, I would just like to say one thing, if I could. God bless John Mara. I saw those photographs in the Post on that column that Paul Schwartz wrote.
Mm-hmm.
It was an amazing column about how his brother was bringing Harbaugh in there for John, and I saw those photographs, and I was just so shocked and saddened. And we pray for John Mara's recovery. Every time I've gone to MetLife Stadium and dealt with the Giants, they've always been classy with me, and I wish nothing but the best for him and his family.
Absolutely echo that. He's a good man, and so are you. Thank you, Sal. Safe travels, and I think you should probably get a condo in Denver because you're not coming home for a while.
Okay, thanks, Michael.
Be well. There's Sal Palantonio. The matchup show is tomorrow. He believes it's 8:30 a.m. As he said, you could look that up on ESPN2. He and Greg Cosell do an outstanding job, and they'll break down the two games. I'll have you my two-pack for sure later on in the show. Now, when we come back, we're going to give you a little weather update because weather is a big story now across the middle of the country, and we're going to get a lot of it as well. So we're going to have Lee Goldberg of Eyewitness News ABC. He'll join us in just a moment, give you a quick update on what his models look like and what he thinks is going to happen here in the tri-state area. So please stick around. I want to take your phone calls as well. 1-800-919-3776. The K Show right here on ESPN New York.
Friday with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Can the Broncos win without Bo Nix?
I said this at the start of the season. I felt like our 2 was inside the best 32, and I think everyone feels that way.
Will Sam Darnold do enough to get Seattle to the big game?
I'm going to turn it loose. If it's there and we get the coverage for the right play and I feel like it's there, I'm going to let it rip.
Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Presented by Robinhood.
He crosses, spins, pulls up.
With Robinhood Prediction Markets, buy or sell your predictions all game long. No house odds, just you versus the market. Put your sports IQ to work. Trade every shot, block, steal, run, and moment that shifts the game. With Robinhood Prediction Markets, trade every play. Visit Robinhood.com/predict to start trading. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
All the way over Barzell, score! New York Islanders hockey is back at UBS Arena, and it's time to bring the family and make some noise. With more afternoon games this season, the Islanders have special kids-themed games and activities for young fans. Play games pregame at the park and head inside for fun on the concourse and on the ice. Tickets for the 2025-26 season are on sale now. Get your tickets at NewYorkIslanders.com.
Looking for the best meat and seafood at unbeatable prices? Get to Wild Fork Foods. They offer the widest selection of meats and seafoods you'll find anywhere. Everything is blast frozen to lock in flavor and nutrients. From beef and poultry to seafood, pork, and even exotic and game meats, you'll get the best value for your buck. Visit one of their 7 locations across Long Island and New Jersey, or order online for same-day delivery at wildforkfoods.com. Wild Fork Foods, your neighborhood's meat and seafood market.
Hey, New York and New Jersey, Boost Mobile has an unlimited talk, text, and data plan that's only $25 a month forever, meaning you'll only ever pay $25 a month for the rest of your life. Who wouldn't want unlimited wireless when it only costs $25 a month forever? If you don't, you must be one of those people who enjoy overpaying for their phone plan. $25 a month forever is truly as good as it gets, so go online and switch now at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
FanDuel is turning on playoff mode. All customers get a profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Each game day during the championship round, you'll find a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you in the app. More boosts means more ways to level up your playoff bets. Pick the matchups you believe in, take your shot on an upset, or build a parlay that fits the moment. Now, I am loving the Rams, so you can apply your profit boost and go after even bigger payouts while the playoffs keep rolling. So visit FanDuel.com/local and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Each game day during the championship round, you'll find a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you in the app. More boosts means more ways to level up your playoff bets. 21 and over and physically present New York option required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com for help with a gambling problem. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Why do you go to Princeton Longevity Center?
We go to Princeton Longevity Center because my husband's cardiologist told him having this exam saved his life.
Because somehow 20 turned into 40, and now I need to take my health more seriously. The Princeton Longevity Center designed a program to keep me healthy and active, so 50 and 60 will be no sweat.
Because even though my cholesterol is high, it turned out my arteries are clear. That's a big relief.
Whether you want to make the most of your future years or just want peace of mind, you need the Princeton Longevity Center. Their comprehensive preventive exam combines the latest technology with caring experts to create your personal plan for staying well.
Because I shouldn't have to wait an hour for a 10-minute physical. I go to Princeton Longevity Center because I get everything done in one day and take my results home with me.
Find out why you need Princeton Longevity. Call 888-8000-PLC or go to PrincetonLongevityCenter.com. Call 888-8000-PLC. That's 888-8000-PLC.
What is it that makes the all-new Hyundai Palisade hybrid an incredible SUV? Is it the spacious interior that's comfy for the whole crew? Or the capability to go off-road? Maybe it's up to 600-plus miles of range. Is it the driver behind the wheel? What if it's all of that and more? What is it then? The all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid. So much more than just another SUV. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details. That's 562-314-4603. Hey, it's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a time out to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. Right now, Pella Windows and Doors of New Jersey is offering buy one, get one 50% off and everyday 0% financing. Some restrictions may apply. See store for details. Offer ends January 31st, 2026.
Welcome back to the show. Weather is the story. Obviously, we're wrapping sports around it. I think the NFL games are going to get huge ratings on Sunday because people are not going to be leaving their house if, in fact, the forecast is correct. So when I want to check out what's really happening, I go to the meteorologist from Eyewitness News, our good friend. We used to have him on the afternoon show all the time. That is the great, I don't say that lightly, the great Lee Goldberg, and he joins us now. Hey, Lee, how you doing?
I appreciate that, Michael. I'm doing okay. It's pretty chaotic here, but I think we're locked in on our forecast now.
All right, so let's talk about it. Is it going to be as bad as it seems it's going to be?
I think it will be very impactful, and that's whether, you get single-digit totals or whether you get double-digit totals, especially in New York City, and I can go through all those. The fact that it's surrounded by incredible cold, Mike, we're going to be below freezing here starting tomorrow for the next 10 days or beyond. So, that's going to – and it's not just 30. It's teens, low 20s, sub-zero wind chills. That's going to be an infrastructure challenge or threat. So, this is going to be very impactful.
Now, I've heard if you don't have to drive, you should not drive. If that is, in fact, the case, when should that go into effect?
I think you have to be off the roads by early Sunday morning. The thing is, it's so super cold that we will maximize every flake that starts on Sunday morning. So, this could come in toward dawn. It may hold off a little bit after sunrise, but somewhere around daybreak, the snow is going to come in, and it could spit at first. But once we sort of break the dam of dry air that we have, it'll just come down really hard. Could coat the roads very quickly. Visibilities go down very quickly. It could snow 1 to 2 inches an hour or more, and all of a sudden, you can't travel or see a thing in front of you. So I would say, once we get past sunrise on Sunday, you shouldn't be on the roads.
All right. So
and by the way, the south and western New York City, it should be even earlier than that, like pre-dawn hours.
What worries you more, Lee, the snow or the fact that it's going to be so cold that it's going to turn to ice?
Yes, the latter. Very concerned about the icing because what will probably happen is we're going to snow like crazy from mid-morning all the way through mid-afternoon, and then we're going to start to see some sleet mix in, but some of the area will get some freezing rain, and that could be through interior parts of central New Jersey. I don't think icing is a deal north of the city. That's going to be all snow, and we're going to get over a foot. But that's the wild card in the city and point south and down to the coast where you mix in with sleet and freezing rain, and we get terrible icing. So that'll make travel impossible.
All right, so we're talking about the city mostly. We have a lot of listeners in Jersey and Connecticut. How will those areas be impacted?
So Connecticut, I have Connecticut basically in a 12 to 18-inch snowfall. Maybe the immediate coast is a little bit less. But yes, most of our northern and western suburbs are going to get into that 12 to 18. That foot line is super close to even New York City, depending on the mixing. We could have a range where the mixing starts early and, we're struggling to 6 or 8. But if we don't get mixing and we keep snowing like crazy through 4 or 5 in the afternoon and evening, then we'll get double digits in the city.
Now, it's my understanding, Lee, correct me if I'm wrong, that we're not even going to get the worst part of this. It's going to be the middle east of the country. Is that correct?
In terms of the ice storm, yes. It's like you're looking from the deep south, the mid-south all the way into parts of the mid-Atlantic. So there are major ice storm warnings down from Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, down toward the Carolinas. So they get the worst ice storm that will, cripple those areas for many days, and a lot of people will be without power, and it'll be freezing down there too. So, it's worse for them in terms of icing. But when you just think about the country itself, it's like 60 or 70% of the country is under some type of alert right now. There are 40, 50 below wind chills in the northern Great Lakes right now. So it's a crazy storm.
So in finishing up, Lee, and we're talking with Lee Goldberg of Eyewitness News on ABC, Are you of the mindset, go out, get supplies, bread, milk, all of that stuff? Do you think it's that sort of storm?
Yeah, I do. I do. I think you need to, number one, before it gets dangerously cold, which is going to be coming in tonight because we're starting a free fall tonight and sub-zero wind chills by morning. So anything you have to do around the home with your cars, filling up the gas tank, making sure any hoses are not connected still, from the fall outside the home. If you're prone to, pipe bursts and stuff, make sure that you're trickling some water. Salt is tough to find right now. We did a story on calcium chloride here at the station, and it's in short supply. But yes, I do think you have to do that. Do I think we'll have widespread power outages? Not necessarily, unless you're talking about the areas that get significant icing. But I do think we're going to be, in place Sunday, into Monday. A lot of places are we going to have school on Monday? Well, it won't be because of what's falling. It'll be because the cleanup is so challenging because of the cold that comes with and after the storm.
You're the best, Lee. I know you're crazy busy. Thank you for giving us a couple of minutes. Thank you so much.
You bet, man. Thanks for having me. I'll talk to you.
All right, that's Lee Goldberg, meteorologist from Eyewitness News and ABC 7. So it looks like it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. Connecticut, Jersey, the city. This is big-time stuff. And the thing that does get you scared when you read about stuff like this is the ice, because then the ice get onto trees, and the trees fall into power lines come down, and all of a sudden, in sub-freezing temperatures, you might not have power or heat. That's the scary part. The part that's easily doable, I would think, is just don't drive. Don't go out on the roads, because what are you trying to prove? Now, there was a light snowfall the other day, last weekend, and one of our cars, we have an electric SUV. It couldn't move 4 feet. It was just stuck, and it wasn't even bad snow. So I had to back up into the house, and I used an old car that Jody used to have, like a 20-year-old car, and that was able to get through it. So this is not easy stuff to drive through, and ice makes it very difficult. He mentioned big ice storms in Dallas. Don and I were in Dallas for the Super Bowl when they had it at AT&T Stadium, and there was an ice storm, and it wasn't anything like extraordinary, but I'm telling you, that crippled Dallas. They don't know how to handle that kind of weather. They don't know how to drive in it. They don't know how to remove it. And it was just absolutely dreadful, awful, terrible, terrible. Speaking of the games over the weekend, I had this thought. If you're a Jet fan, and I know I have a lot of Jet fans that listen, do you want Sam Darnold to do well and win this weekend? Or would that be the ultimate same old Jets nonsense that you're going to hear? Because I don't think Sam Darnold ever did anything in a bad way for the Jets. He wasn't as successful as they wanted. But do you want him to do well, or do you want him to lose? Because if he loses, well, then no harm, no foul. If he wins, you're going to hear, wow, the Jets don't even have a quarterback, and they let this guy go. They gave up on him so that they could draft Zach Wilson. Wondering what your thought process is. 1-800-919-3776. Ray in Edmonton. Ray, talk to me.
Michael K., it's a pleasure to talk to you finally.
Oh, thanks for calling,
greetings
buddy.
from the Great White. Thanks for greetings from the Great White North. We're minus 44 right now, a little cold, but not to downplay what you guys got going on.
Wait, that's
there.
minus 44 on the thermostat, not like wind chill?
That's with wind chill. It's dicey out here, yeah. So
wow.
We're looking for polar bears crossing the road right now. So
wow.
It's pretty bad. Hey, 2 points I just wanted to bring up. Air grievances, Yankee fans, even the ones up here. We got to slow down again a bit here. I know you've talked about it before, but Hal's running a business, and I like to put myself in everyone else's position. You're running a business. You're going to take money out of your own account all the time to offset your favorite passion? I don't think so. So it's one of those things you just got to remind fans, or we got to remind fans that that's the case here. Also, just reflecting back on the 90s, for the Yankees, we always had we had the 4-4 and we built around it. I get disappointed up here. I'm surrounded by obnoxious Blue Jay fans, and I despise them. But I'm always hearing, you bought your team. Well, we had the core 4, and then we just built around it, and that's kind of what I'd love to see us have happening again. But that's a wish. But I'm not on the panic button. I'm watching from afar and loving it. So And then the last thing, Michael, is Rick and Dave have some material out there, some hats. I'm sure you saw the Rule 76. I'm just thinking, what's Michael Kay going to do?
Ray, I'm telling you, you're like reading my mind. Okay, so Ray's talking about some Michael Kay show swag, and I've been thinking for a while. I said I want to make hats out so we can give it out to the listeners. It's going to have to be coming out of my own pocket because I don't think the company is paying for it. But I think Rick has paid for their swag. I know that Dave hasn't, but I think Rick has. And it's funny that Ray brought that up today. You know what I did today? I actually contacted Graphics Joker, who we've known for years and has made great caricatures of me, Don, and Peter. And I gave him some ideas for a hat. And he's going to try to put it together for me, and I'll see that if we can make like a couple of hundred of them and give them out. It's funny you brought that up today because right before the show, I DM'd Joe Morasic, Graphics Joker, who's great, and he said, yeah, he's going to work on it over the weekend. So I will keep you up to date on it. Alex in Midtown. Talk to me, Alex.
Hey, Michael. How are you? Good to talk
good.
with you.
How
again.
about you?
Good. So I just wanted to talk. I'm not as angry as other Yankee fans are about them, essentially running it back, as we've been saying, for all the reasons they did win 94 games, made it to the ALDS. But what I find concerning is that team last year, they were 9-17 against the Red Sox and Blue Jays. Mm-hmm. So I just don't know how we improved. Other than Cole coming back in June, I don't know if that's enough to have a better record against those teams because we don't match up well against guys like Crochet and I think even Suarez that the Red Sox got, right?
Well, let's put it this way. I think that if Garrett Cole had pitched all of last year, right, might they have won 96 games? Then all of a sudden they have the tiebreaker. They actually win 2 more games. Could they have won more games against the Blue Jays? I guess that's what they're betting. One thing that I think when people are saying run it back, right? The Yankees kind of made their additions at the trade deadline last year. They redid their bullpen completely. And if you look at the numbers that Bednar had as a closer, much better than what Devin Williams and Luke Weaver had. So they're going to have that from the beginning of the year. Doval at the end of the year seemed like he found it. They think they straightened out Bird. They like their bullpen. All honesty, I think they can add another arm out there. So there's that difference. You've got Caballero and you've got Rosario, so your bench is much better than it was. You got them at the trade deadline, and you're going to have Oswaldo Cabrera back as well. So it's not quite the team that started last year. Those guys were not available in June when the Yankees hit the skids, as they do sometimes in June. If they could stay out of that June skid, maybe they can win 95, 96 games. What are the Blue Jays going to do? Are they all going to have that same sort of season again? These are all things that you can run computer readouts on, and you could try to stratomatic it, and each time it's going to end up differently. Aaron Boone, I think, made an appearance with BT and Sal yesterday. It wasn't on the radio. It was actually an appearance, and said, you always want to improve your team, but if you really, really like your team, you kind of like the way it was. So I think that's the way the Yankees look at it. They really, really liked their team last year, and they think that they can do better than they did last year. Let's see if they're right. 2-pack for sure. My picks. 2 picks coming up in just a moment for the weekend's games. FanDuel is turning on playoff mode. All customers get a profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Each game day during the championship round, you'll find a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you in the app. More boosts mean more ways to level up your playoff bets. Pick the matchups you believe in, take your shot on an upset, or build a parlay that fits the moment. The Patriots are traveling to Denver, and the Rams are traveling to Seattle. Who do you like in those games? Then apply your profit boost and go after even bigger payouts while the playoffs keep rolling. So visit FanDuel.com/local and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. That's 467-369.
Rick Pitino goes for his 900th career win against his son Richard when St. John's travels to Cincinnati to take on Xavier. Coverage begins tomorrow at 1:10 on 1050 ESPN and the ESPN New York app.
At PC Richard & Son, we don't just sell you a TV. We show you the differences, explain how the features work, from all the top brands like Samsung. And we deliver your new TV fast and free, just in time for the big game or movie night with the family. Bring the big game home with savings up to 40% on Samsung OLED, Neo QLED, and Frame. Plus free wall installation on qualifying models. Great service, great savings. It's kind of our thing. PC Richard & Son. Service. It has a sound. Free delivery excludes Manhattan.
Hey, sorry I missed you. Your call is very important to me. Just not as important as the New Jersey Lottery's Green Ball promotion being back on Pick 3 evening drawings. See, if the green ball's drawn, that's a free second chance to win? So, yeah, you get it. It's only through February 1st, though, so try me after then?
Must be 18 or older to buy a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. For game odds and promotion details, visit njlottery.com/pick3.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Basketball fans? BetMGM, an authorized gaming partner of the NBA, is giving players another reason to hit the court this season. BetMGM is adding extra excitement to every basket, every slam dunk, and every buzzer-beating shot with special promotions, new features, and more. Log in throughout the season to find odds boost tokens, no sweat tokens, and same-game parlay boost tokens in your account to amplify your winnings. Enjoy enhanced product features like dark mode, too. Log into BetMGM, an authorized gaming partner of the NBA, all throughout the basketball season to see what's new.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. New Jersey only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 7 days.
Hi, I'm John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates, the injury firm. You know what's interesting about the words personal injury? The first word is person. And at D'Agostino & Associates, that word means everything. That's because I handpick every person in our firm, from the pleasant professional person who answers your call to the experienced person litigating your case in court. Because every person in my firm is an extension of me, and the only way to exceed our clients' expectations is to deliver the highest level of personal service every single time. And that starts with hiring the right people. You see, we know that every client is a person too. Someone going through the toughest time in their lives and deserves to be more than just a file number. At D'Agostino & Associates, we put the person back in personal injury. So call 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222 and ask for me, John D'Agostino. And let's talk about your case, person to person. D'Agostino Law Bite Back.
Hey fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage, no medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
You live for this. The wins, the losses, the slam dunks, and the buzzer beaters. The dream that this is your team's year. Hope, it's what keeps you coming back. So you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when everything's on the line, your support means everything. That's why the NBA Store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
You know the music. That means it's two-pack for sure. I give you my two picks so far up to this championship weekend. I'm an even 500 with two ties. So you're not going to get rich, but you're not going to get poor by following my picks. Now, if you really want to see bad picks, take a look at Peter's record. Oh, unbelievable how bad it is. Unbelievable. Don's having a great year, but Peter's having a terrible year, and that's all I care about. All right, so two games, AFC Championship, NFC Championship. We'll start with the AFC. Patriots, 4.5-point favorites over Denver. So Denver, before it was revealed that their quarterback was hurt, Bo Nix, the Denver line opened as a 1.5-point favorite over the Patriots. Game is in Denver. Then when the Bo Nix injury was revealed by the head coach, Sean Payton, the line went to 5.5 points in favor of the Patriots. It has moved to 4.5, so it's trying to find its balance. Okay, this is the biggest home underdog in conference championship history since 1970. Now, it's a little skewed because this isn't the Denver Bronco team that played all year. It doesn't have Bo Nix. It's going to be Jarrett Stidham. Home dogs, according to the Action Network, home dogs of 4 points or more are 9-0 against the spread in the past 50 years in championship games. 9-0 against the spread. But now let's give you some love on the New England side. Drake May, as a favorite of 3 points or more in his short career of 2 years, is 12-0 straight up and 10-2 against the spread. All right, so that's a lot of numbers to digest. I think the Patriots win the game, but I think it's going to be closer than you think. Sean Payton's an outstanding coach. So is Mike Vrabel. And the Broncos do have really good defense. And I mentioned earlier when we were talking with Sal that Drake May has turned the ball over a little bit more than he has during the season. So Denver's going to be all over him, making life very, very uncomfortable. So I think the Patriots win a close game, but the 4.5 is such a Zoftig number. I'm going to grab that with Denver. So give me Denver 4.5 over the Patriots, but I think the Patriots win. The other game's a tough one. Seahawks, 2.5 over the Rams. This is LA's third road playoff game in 16 days, and they have gone back and forth across the country. Now, this is their shortest trip. All that time while they're flying all around, Seattle played one game, and they played it on Saturday, and they played it at home. Teams with the added rest, they are 27-17 straight up in conference championships. That's since 2003 and 4, and they are 21-7 straight up at home. Now, remember, the Seahawks have lost a big part of their offense. Zach Charbonnet destroyed his knee. He's out. So that leads Kenneth Walker III. Charbonnet is a big part of what they do. The Rams did not impress me that much against the Bears. I love Matthew Stafford, but he didn't have a good game. I know it was bitingly cold. I understand that. And the Bears defense had some problems for him, but he missed some throws and he looked discombobulated. The Seahawks defense is really, really good. Every fiber of me wants to pick the Rams. Every bit of my soul. I want to go with Sean McVay and I want to go with Matthew Stafford. And I'm a little bit afraid of going with Sam Darnold. He played well last week, but boy, after that opening kickoff return, he never had a sweat. He's going to have to sweat. The Rams are going to blitz him. They're going to make life uncomfortable for him. So is it going to be a repeat of what happened last year with the Vikings? I don't think it will be. I don't think he's going to have to do too much. He has a great wide receiver to go to. Yes, he's down one running back, but the other one's pretty good. So I'm going to cross my fingers. I'm going to take the Seahawks. I'm going to give the 2.5. Now, strangely, I hope the Rams win, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Seahawks will win this one by about a touchdown. So that's my 2-pack for sure. I'll give it to you again. Give me Denver at home with the 4.5 points over the Patriots, and give me the Seahawks in Seattle at home against the Rams. I will give 2.5. So I go with 1 underdog and 1 favorite. Again, I've been 500 over the year with 2 pushes, but since both of these have half points, as Don likes to call them, hooks, there will be no push. So we'll see how I stand going into the Super Bowl. Big show on Monday. I hope everybody is really careful. If the weather is as forecasted this Sunday, stay off the road if you can. Sometimes, hey, emergencies you have to make do. Try not to make do. Try to stay home. Be comfortable. Watch the games. I bet the ratings are going to be off the charts simply because people are going to be stuck at home. Across the country, it's not just New York. Across the country, they will have record ratings for both of these games. We'll be back on Monday at 1 p.m. to talk about it. Hopefully you have a safe and wonderful weekend. Coming up, you know the deal, Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. They'll take you through these games as well. In the words of Billy Joel, life is a series of hellos and goodbyes. I'm afraid it's time for goodbye again. See everybody, stay safe, and talk to you on Monday at 1 p.m. So long.
Not all F words are bad. Some are actually great, like fast, free fiber for 4 months. Yep, switch to Optimum Fiber for as low as $25 a month. Plus, for a limited time, you can get 4 months free HBO